We are live for our latest craft class. I'm going to check the threads really quickly I'll just check it on YouTube and then we'll go ahead and get started. Oh, and it looks like we're live. Great. Okay, so drop it in the chat. Boom, drop it in this chat. If you can hear me, see me, if you can't hear me, if you can't see me, okay, just let me know and I'm glad to help. This craft class will be available later, so you don't have to join us in real time. If you want to join us later, we're glad to have you at any point. So my name is Brittany Bly. I'm the founder of Pop Shop America. Tonight we are making lava lamp lip glosses. It's going to be really fast. It's going to be really fun. It's so stylish. So let me show you a finished one. And you know what? Let me bring this chat back. So here we go. Every Thursday when we do these craft classes, we always have a coupon code. So if you see the craft that we're making and you think it looks really fun and you want to make it for yourself, then you can go online and get it for yourself. This coupon code is only available through these live craft alongs that we do. And the coupon code is Craft with Brittany. I just dropped it in the chat. And actually, let me go ahead and I can show you that too. There you go. So there's the code right there, and it's in the chat. So let me show you a finished one. Here is a lava lamp lip gloss. So we've got this beautiful clear right here. And then this is actually kind of a tomato or kind of an orange color. And then you flip it over and look at that. So cool. This is super nourishing. It feels great on your lips. You can make it in a million different colors. We'll make it in a different color tonight. Very cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really fun. And what I love about this is it's so easy. It's really easy. It's really fast. The ingredients are healthy and nourishing. You don't need a lot of supplies. So there's a lot of things that I love about this. Once you make your own lip balm, lip gloss, any kind of recipe that you follow, it's one of those things that once you make it, you're never going to want to buy it again. It's so fun to make. You can customize it in a million different ways. It's less expensive. It's just one of those amazing catch-all crafts that I really love. Okay, so there's that coupon code. So we are making lava lamp lip gloss. Let me go ahead and turn off the chat. And if you see up here in your upper left, there's a QR code so you can go online. If you like this tutorial, you can go ahead and grab this kit right now. This is the Craft and Style subscription box. This is actually the May box, but if you shop it now, you can just put in the notes that you want the May box and we'll ship that out instead of June. Any of those Craft and Style boxes, you can customize your box, and especially from month to month like that. Like if you want the May box in June, or if you want the June box in July, that's very easy. So please feel free to use that QR code. Go ahead and visit the website. Use that coupon code that we had in the chat. And let me go ahead and pull it back up really quick. Just going to have that up for a second, and I'll bring that up again. Let me drop one more thing in the chat before we get started, you guys. I want to post the link of where you can find all of our upcoming events. So we have these live craft alongs every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central. So you can find the upcoming classes there. And let me tell you what we have coming up. We have a Houston local event on June 6th at 6 p.m. So if you're in the Houston area and you want to make a succulent terrarium completely for free, so that's going to look about like this. You can make one at Bagby Park. Sign up is on our website, so please go visit the website now if you're in the Houston area and you want to make a succulent terrarium for free on June 6th. On June 8th, we are doing wood wick candle making. That kit is one of our most popular kits. Candle making, I love it. It smells amazing. It's so soothing and relaxing to do. So that'll be really fun on June 8th. On June 10th, we're actually doing a special event. So that's Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Time. We are going to have a handmade finished product super sale. This is a ton of stuff. So if you have followed Pop Shop America, you know that we used to host craft fairs, and we're actually starting to host more in-person events again. So we have worked with so many hundreds of businesses, like literally thousands of businesses since we started, that we've ended up with so many different cool handmade products that we've, shopped, or that we've collaborated with, or that we've, helped with in some way. So we have so much stuff that, we make and manufacture craft supplies and craft kits. So we are doing a super sale. There are going to be tons of t-shirts, jewelry, dresses, housewares, art, prints, so much more. Everything is going to be less than $10, and it's all handmade. Most of it's going to be like $2, $3. So cool. And then on June 15th, we have astrology or zodiac embroidery, which is one of our newest kits. I'm super excited about that. So just a little bit about the schedule. But let's go ahead and get started with our lava lamp lip gloss. Whoop. Sorry about that noise. Just knocking things around in here. So the supplies are really simple, and I'll take this banner off in a second so you guys can see everything really clearly, but let me show you all of the supplies that I have. Now, you can work from this kit, which is the Craft and Style subscription box from May 2023, but you can also gather your own supplies yourself. You do not have to use our kit to be able to make these lava lamp lip glosses. What you'll need are any kind of roller ball containers. I always recommend glass for these. This is what this is going to look like. And right here, I have the 10 milliliter rollerball containers, but they also make them in 5 milliliter. I chose to use these white lids so that the color, you really get that color from the lava lamp, the lip gloss itself. But you could also find these in every color of the rainbow. So you're going to need at least one 10 milliliter or 5 milliliter or some amount of rollerball container. You are going to need pipettes. You are going to want some cups. Plastic is going to be really helpful for this. You could use paper cups, but plastic is going to be much better. You are going to want some kind of colorant. Now, let me show you what's included in the kit. You get lavender mica powder, grapefruit red mica powder, pink pearl mica powder, and then we have this orange, which is actually more of an orange yellow mica powder. Now, that's what's included in the kit. But you don't necessarily have to use, let me see if I have if you don't have mica. So you don't necessarily have to use mica. You could use, for example, eyeshadow and just break it up and make it into a fine powder. You can use blush, break it up into a fine powder. I would definitely recommend something that's a body care product. That way it's something that's intended to be put on the skin. I would definitely, this is not going to work with like food coloring or crayons or anything like that. I know people always ask me weird questions and like want to get creative. And I would definitely just stick to, if you're not going to use mica, use eyeshadow or use blush, use a makeup product and just break it up, or use one that's already in a powdered form. So that's what I have right here. So you got your pipettes, you've got your plastic cups, you've got your roller balls, you've got your mica. Now for your liquid, you're going to want to use mostly vegetable glycerin and a small amount of castor oil. Now, I don't know if you're like me where castor oil, just saying it reminds me of Little Orphan Annie, where I'm always like castor oil is a bad thing, right? It's like a punishment or it's something that's really gross. It's actually really nourishing and healing to the skin. So please don't be afraid of it. It's completely natural. It comes from something called a castor bean. Let me see if I have a slide for that. Yes, I do. Okay, it comes from a castor bean. It was something that was used in ancient Egypt. That's how they, they created lamps as they would burn castor oil. It's really nourishing. It's really moisturizing, and it's not able to what's the word I'm looking for? Accumulate too much like bacteria or fungus. So it's actually really great for keeping bacteria and fungus at bay. It's not an antibiotic, but it's just not very receptive. It doesn't like get gross over time. So that's really great for a lava lamp lip gloss because what we don't want are to use ingredients that over time can spoil. And so using that castor oil is really nice because we don't have to worry about that spoiling. Now, vegetable glycerin, really similar. It comes from an oil. It's a vegetable oil. It's really nourishing. It's really healing for the skin. It's really great for any kind of irritations. It's very gentle. Not a lot of people have any kind of sensitivity to either of these ingredients. But if you think that you might, I just want to recommend when you make this lava lamp lip gloss, go ahead and swatch it on an area that's less sensitive, like perhaps on your wrist, just to make sure. And that's just for anybody that has any kind of sensitivities. If you have food allergies, if you're allergic to other kinds of body care products, if you're allergic to certain essential oils, I would just go ahead and swatch it just to be on the safe side. Just make sure that your skin doesn't have any kind of reaction before you put it on skin that's really sensitive. So I would definitely recommend something like the wrist or even on your hand somewhere. That's always a great place to start. That's all of our ingredients. Now I do have a plastic spoon here. You could use a popsicle stick as well. You don't actually need this. This is something that you could use a pipette. What I'm going to use this for, you could use a pipette in its place. But I just like to have this on hand. It just makes, my life a little bit easier. I also have some edible glitter. Now I have some chunky edible glitter right here, but what would be really beautiful is using super fine grain edible glitter. I don't think you can really tell, but they're actually like little star. Oh, there you go. Now you can tell they're like little star shapes. It's so cute. So if you want to add edible glitter, that's an option, but it's not something that you need to add. Now this recipe is so simple. So I see there's just a couple people joining us live. Does anybody want to drop in the chat what color of lava lamp lip gloss you would like for me to make? Now this one right here is actually, I know on screen it kind of looks reddish, but it's more of a tomato, and this is actually the orange right here. But we do have pink. We have grapefruit, which is more of a red. And we have lavender. Does anybody want to drop in the chat what color they want me to make? And no pressure, because I'll pick if you guys don't want to pick. Pink. Okay, great. So we are making pink. Thank you for that. So we've got this pink. Let me show you the mica powder right here. This is how it comes when it's in our kit. Anytime you order mica powder from Amazon or Brambleberry or Bulk Apothecary or from us, anywhere you order mica powder, it's likely going to come in a little bag like this. And it's really not ideal but there's just not a better way to do it, because it's the type of thing that like it can get everywhere and it can stain really easily. So before you open anything like this, what you can do is you can just kind of tap it so that all these pieces start to come down to the bottom. And you see how up here it's getting a lot more clear as a lot of that dust is getting pushed downward. I would go ahead and do that. Now, these are actually in Ziploc bags so that you could potentially reseal them. which makes them not ideal for pouring. So what you might want to do is actually scoop that mica powder out of here to be able to use it. But what I'm going to do instead is I want to show you how mine came. I want to show you this big boy so that you can see what it looks like when you order it in bulk. When you order it in bulk, it's going to come like this, and you're always going to want to double bag it. So I have it open down here, and honestly, I would even recommend, instead of folding it over like that, fold it over like you would a toothpaste tube and put a clothespin or a chip clip on it to seal it, or even like a piece of tape, just to make sure that it's not going to get out inside of here. But again, this gets everywhere. It can stain really easily. So I would just be careful with the way that you handle it. And once I open this up and pull this out, I just want to be really careful. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix together my mica powder, castor oil, and a little bit of lip balm flavoring. In this case, instead of lip balm flavoring, I really want to show you guys essential oils. Now, the reason that I want to show you guys essential oils is because you don't have to use flavoring at all. But if you do decide to use flavoring, so here's my mica powder colorant. I'm actually only going to add about half of that because that's already a lot. This is not a supply that you need to measure. You just need a really small amount. You could add more for darker color, add a smaller amount for lighter color. I'm going to pour the rest in the container. Now back to essential oils. Flavorings versus essential oils. Now, to make lava lamp lip balm, lip gloss, you can use flavoring, lip balm flavoring, or you can use essential oils, or you don't have to use either one. So what is the difference? Well, with flavorings, you can't use kitchen extracts. What you need to use is an oil. They do make lip balm flavorings. That's what's included in our kit. We're including watermelon, grape, and strawberry flavorings. You could also, in place of lip balm flavorings, you could use candy oil. So like the Loran that you find in the grocery store. Usually you can find like peppermint and orange in the grocery store. It's in the bakery aisle. You can use that as well. You cannot use extracts. Extracts are water-based. They're alcohol-based. You have to use something that's oil-based. So that's why you're going to use a candy flavoring oil if you want to use that. Again, they also make lip balm and lip gloss flavorings. So that's what we have in our kit. Or you can use essential oils, which is what I'm going to show you here, just so you can see a little twist on it and get a little variation. All right, so I've got my castor oil. I've got my mica powder already in there. I'm just going to open this up, and I don't need much at all. So let's take a look at our measurements right here. Most of this is actually the vegetable glycerin, and just a small amount of it is that castor oil and mica powder on top. So we don't need much. We actually just need about 1/4 of a dram. It's about, I'm going to say maybe about 2 teaspoons. I'll do those measurements in just a minute so you can see the different measurements. All right, so I've got my mica, I've got my castor oil, and now I'm just mixing the two together. And it looks so beautiful. It's like swirly and glittery and shimmery and pearlescent. Let me get close so you can see this Really beautiful color. And it looks like I've got one little chunk in there. Do you see that little chunk? So I'm going to want to keep stirring until I can get everything perfectly evenly mixed. But if you can see, it really just takes a second. It doesn't take very long to stir those two ingredients together and to blend them thoroughly and completely. So let's just go ahead and get that chunk out. And our color is so rich, so dense, and I love this shade of pink. I'm so glad you suggested pink. What a great color. So pretty. This would be really great with a strawberry flavoring. This would be really great with watermelon. That's what's included in the kit. Grape might be a little bit unusual, but of course you can also use grape as well. You could also, if you were sourcing your own flavors, you could use bubble gum, you could use cherry. I mean, really the sky is the limit. Anything that you like, feel free to use it. You don't have to do it just as I'm doing it. And just let me know. Feel free to drop any questions in the chat because I'm glad to help. So if you have any questions, if you want to change anything or like try something new, just let me know what you have in mind. I've probably done it. Crafting is always an experiment. So I'm glad to help while you are on that journey. Now, before you pour any of your materials into your roller ball, I do recommend that you wash them thoroughly with soap and water and then make sure that they are completely dry. I've already done that off screen, so I'm going to go ahead and prep my roller ball by filling it about slightly over halfway, maybe about 60% full with the vegetable glycerin. You can use the pipette, one of your pipettes, to pipette the vegetable glycerin into the container. But if you feel really comfortable pouring with very small items, like if you feel like you have good eyesight or you've done a lot of pouring, then you can just pour straight from the bottle into the container. The thing that you want to watch for is I would not recommend doing this right when you first wake up. If you're drinking coffee and you haven't eaten yet, it's always going to make you slightly unstable. Or if you just don't feel like you have a steady hand, it's totally okay. Use that pipette. It takes a little bit longer to use the pipette, but that's no problem. I mean, it's all fun. We're having a good time. We're making beautiful things. So it doesn't have to move like at the same or at a really fast pace. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this. We have our vegetable glycerin about 60% full. And now we are going to go ahead and add our essential oils. Now, the difference between these flavorings and the essential oils is that flavorings are going to taste sweet. It's going to taste really delicious on your lips. The essential oils, you're going to get that fruity scent or whatever scent you decide to use, because you could use lavender or you could use rose, and that would be really cool with the pink as well. But what you are going to get is that scent, but you're not going to get all that sugary sweetness. So essential oils are really great if you want like a little pop of flavor, a little pop of scent, but you don't want anything that feels sweet. So it's really just, is that better for your palate, or do you prefer something that's a little bit more like feeling like a dessert, like a traditional lip gloss or a traditional lip balm? So anything that you get at the store, anything that's pre-made, is probably going to be more of the flavoring kind of variety. It's pretty rare that you're going to see anything that uses essential oils in the way that we're using it here, but you can do it. Now, whether you're using essential oils or flavorings, you really only need about 3 to 5 drops in your vegetable glycerin. And I'm going to do about 3 to 5 drops in my castor oil and mica as well. Now, once I have my essential oils in my vegetable glycerin, this is going to be the same if I add flavorings. You are going to want to mix them thoroughly and completely. So I'm actually just using my pipette, and I'm just mixing the essential oils into that vegetable glycerin thoroughly and completely. I'm making sure that the pipette reaches all the way to the bottom, and then I'm stirring through every inch of that liquid to make sure that they're evenly blended. Now, essential oils are going to be a lot lighter weight than the vegetable glycerin, so they would actually just sit on the surface. They would sit on top if I didn't blend them together. So that's why I want to blend them together. And I also want my flavor and my scent to be nice and even. I always recommend with anytime we're blending essential oils into anything, whether it's soaps, candles, lip balms, lip glosses, anything like that, I would always stir it for significantly longer than you think is necessary. Just like keep stirring it because you can't really see them. The colors of almost all essential oils are perfectly clear. Sometimes you have essential oils, say like an orange essential oil that has a slight orange color to it, and then you can see it. But most of the time you can't see it at all. So I say just err on the side of caution and just stir it longer than what you think necessary, just to make sure it's evenly blended. Now I'm going to take my pipette with my castor oil and mica powder, and now it's got essential oils in here, and I'm doing the same thing, just completely stirring thoroughly and evenly to make sure that that essential oil is nice and even. Now this part, I'm always going to use a pipette. I do not recommend pouring this part because what we want to do is when we add the castor oil and mica into our roller ball, we want to do it slowly and gently. We want to keep our castor oil intact and let it just sit on the surface of the vegetable glycerin. So I'm doing this really slowly, really gently, using the pipette to add the castor oil and mica on top of the vegetable glycerin. Now let me show you what this looks like. And now it looks like this. Now here's something that's really important anytime you're making this. You need to leave a very small space at the top. You need to leave a gap so that air can circulate up here. That way, when we turn them upside down, so there's a little bit of air up here. That way, when we turn them upside down, there's enough air to move to the surface, and that allows that castor oil and mica to move to the surface as well. Now, anytime I turn this back and forth, you see how I'm doing that kind of gently? You could actually shake it and ruin it if you wanted to, or if you have like kids around, that are curious. So do be careful whenever you're working with it. This is something that you kind of have to treat with a little bit of care, but that's okay. That's part of the fun. Now I'm going to add just a few little pieces of my edible glitter in here. And I really wish I had added some to the clear as well, but maybe it'll filter into the clear. We'll see. We shall see. Now, once you have your castor oil and your mica in there, your flavoring is in there, your edible glitter, if you want to add it, is in there. All you have to do is close up that roller ball. Make sure there's a little bit of air at the top. Screw that lid on. And this is literally it. We're completely done. We have made our lava lamp lip gloss. And see, now we've got this beautiful pink color. And look at the way it slowly drizzles to the surface. It's so cool. And that is it. That is everything. So I'm going to run through all of the steps, all of the supplies one more time, just as we wrap up, because this is a little bit shorter than what we usually do for our workshops. So I just want to make sure that you guys got everything that you need, especially for anybody that joined us late. I'm going to check the chat really quick, just see if everybody's doing okay. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, you're a cake decorator, so you have tons of Loran. Hopefully I'm saying that right, because I'm like, I've only read it. I've never said it out loud. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so glad you'll be making this. Yeah, so any of the flavorings, any of your Lorian oils that you have are perfect for this. So hopefully you have like a really good collection because they make so many cool flavors. I hate that the only ones that they have in the grocery store are like the gross flavors. Like, I don't know how you feel, but I am not a fan of peppermint. So I'm like, that is the last thing I want is like peppermint essential or peppermint oil in my lava lamp lip gloss. Okay, so let's just run through it. Oh, and look, you can start to see our edible glitter right in there. So cool. Here, let's do like a twofer really quick. Then we'll run through the tutorial one more time. Just make sure you guys feel good about it. Now, if you want this as a kit, you do not have to order it from us, but this is the Craft and Style subscription box, and you can find a link to our shop right here. Make sure if you go online, make sure you use the coupon code Craft with Brittany at checkout. It'll get you 15% off anything, 15% off anything at all. You don't have to get this kit to get that 15% off. So let's just run through it. So the first thing that we do, we want to wash, clean, dry our roller balls really, really well. We want them to be completely dry before we use them. This is a 10 milliliter roller ball. You can use any size you like. This one is glass. I highly recommend glass because it's just going to look so pretty, but you can use anything that you like. You're definitely going to want to use, they make these in brown, they make these in blue. Of course, you're definitely going to want to use clear so that you can see everything. You're going to fill your tube about 60% to the top with vegetable glycerin. Make sure when you get that vegetable glycerin, make sure that it is food grade. I'm not aware if they make anything that's lower grade. I can't imagine that they would. Like, what else is it used for other than making like tinctures and things like that? But you never know. And it's just, make sure you're really careful because this is something that you're putting on your face. So do make sure that it is food grade. Then in a small cup, I do recommend using a plastic cup. We mix together a small amount of castor oil, less than a tablespoon. I would say maybe like 2 teaspoons, and a tiny bit of mica powder. This is not something that you have to follow a recipe. The mica powder is really just contingent on how vivid, how dark do you want it, how light do you want it, what color you're using. So it's something that you just want to add a tiny little sprinkle, stir it around, see if you like the color. If you do, great. If you don't, add a little bit more, stir it around, make sure it's mixed thoroughly and completely. Then we're going to use a pipette to add the castor oil on top of the vegetable glycerin. Always, always, always make sure that there is a tiny bit of air at the top. So when you flip it, you get that cool lava lamp effect. If you want to add flavorings, you're going to want to add your flavoring to your clear vegetable glycerin in addition to the mica powder and castor oil blend as well. Now, if you don't have castor oil, you can use a jojoba oil. It's not quite as thick as castor oil, but it does work. So there are some options and some ways to customize this based on the supplies that you have, or if you just have preferences, where you just have certain restrictions or allergies, things like that, that you want to watch out for. So that is something that is available to you as well. And that is it. So I'm going to check the chat again. Let me know what questions you have before we hop off. This was a shorter workshop than most. Usually we do a full hour. But this is such a quick, fun craft. It's so great. This is like great if you have like teens and you want to do like a cool like slumber party craft. This is really fun if you're like, if it's girls' night and you want to do a quick craft while you're drinking wine. This is completely safe. We're not using anything that is harmful or anything that could hurt you. So I feel like this is really great for those types of situations. And it looks like everyone is all good in the chat. Let me go ahead and pull this up so you can see. Facebook user. Hi. Hi, Facebook user. This is my favorite. So cool. All right, so let me give you the calendar, the upcoming calendar one more time before we hop off so you guys know what workshops we have coming up. We have, if you're in the Houston area, we have a succulent terrarium workshop June 8th at Bagby Park. It is completely free, 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 free. You can make a succulent terrarium. I've got mine right here. You can make this for free, courtesy of Midtown Houston. Tell Midtown Houston how much you love them because they're really amazing. Then we've got Woodwick candle making, on June 8th. That's at 7 p.m. June 10th, we are doing a crazy super sale on finished handmade goods. So t-shirts, dresses, housewares, art, prints, jewelry, so much fun stuff. June 15th, we have astrology embroidery. And then our schedule goes on and on and on from there. We have classes every Thursday night at 7 p.m. And you guys are so greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for being here. We are available, by the way. So if you click right here, we're available anytime at popshopamerica.com. So if you have questions, concerns, you just want to reach out, you want to say hi, we are always here for you. My name is Brittany. I answer a lot of emails myself. So if there's anything I can do, just let me know. And until then, I will see you next week.